Good evening, guys. Stand by 1 second. Stand by 1 second, guys. Yeah, I am late. What's up, guys? Eric here with driverlineup.com, world's okayest steering wheel holder. I'm trying to get my external G-RAID hard drive ejected. Well, I'll just power it down. Anyway, should have audio now, guys. So if you have questions, hopefully most of you have seen the reveal for the truck. If you haven't yet, that video is up now. The link is in the description below of this video. I want to try and get through some points that I want to get through really quick for the replay gang. So if you have questions, please hold off on those. And then if you're watching or listening to the replay, I'll read the questions as I can. But if you ask questions right now in the live chat, I'm going to get way behind on them because I want to go through some points here real quick. Let me get to my list. I want to go through a few things. So first of all, there's going to be more videos on some of this stuff that I want to talk about. But that video that went up with the reveal is just showing you guys the truck. It literally is just revealing the truck. So there's a lot more details to go over on it. But I also have the interior tour that I did. And then Jen and I will probably make another video once we get the truck completely set up tomorrow to kind of give you a little bit more of an overview on the interior. But I wanted to go through a few things that I didn't talk about yet in the reveal video, which I didn't talk about anything in the reveal video. And I didn't talk about, well, I actually kind of did talk about in the interior. But I know there's going to be some questions. So I talked a lot about the powder coating, on which I love the rims, absolutely love the rims. I did a video on Springfield powder coating. I also bought the hubcap covers from Prime. So those are not actually metal, those are the plastic ones, but the colors, if you guys want black powder coated rims that match those hubcap covers, get the flat matte finish. Because if you get the glossy finish, they're not going to match those black hubcap covers that they sell. But I've seen some questions already about the crown. And here's the thing with the crown. I believe that now you can order a black crown or a grill with the Peterbilts when Prime starts taking orders for the Peterbilts again. But when we ordered ours, we actually ordered it with a black crown. We paid for that. We paid the $500. But in the first batch of the 2022s with a new body style, Peterbilt didn't yet have that part in. It's not like Freightliner. Freightliner, it's like a $45 extra because it's just plastic. The Peterbilt black crowns are actual metal, so they're $500. So we paid the $500, but we couldn't get it at its time, so they just credited that $500 back towards our deposit. And so, yes, we do eventually want to get a black grill, black crown, but we don't want to get that powder coated because the front of the truck takes an absolute beating. And that powder coating it's why I didn't get the Catwalk powder coated or the steps powder coated, because in boots and stuff, it rocks hitting the front of the truck, bugs hitting the front of the truck, sleet, hail. It's just too much of a beating, I think, for powder coating. So you either want to go with Line X or you want to just get the black metal grill. So they didn't have that option when our truck came in. So that's why it's not yet black. And that's why the step box the step box, I just had a step box put on yesterday, so I couldn't get it powder coated. And like I said, the catwalk and the steps, excuse me. I just vaped my brains out because I knew I was going live for a while. The steps, they'll all be, they'll be black in the future. But I just want to make sure that I get the right things on the truck that are going to last the longest. So hopefully that gets that out of the way and explains to you guys why the grill is chrome and why the steps and catwalk and all that good stuff are not yet black. Speaking of the catwalk, in that video, you'll notice that the catwalk in the 2022s, the new body style is smaller than the 21s. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm not sure why they bothered doing that. The catwalk in the 21s or in the old body style 22s, I thought was great. It was a huge catwalk. You had a ton of room to walk around back there, especially with a Peterbilt being a longer wheelbase. With the trailer, the distance between the trailer and the cab, you had a lot of room to walk back there. They made the catwalk smaller from front to back, and then they sat it down between the two sides of the chassis in the frame. So technically you still, I guess, have the same room side to side because you can step on the frame too. But I liked the way that it was. I'm not sure why they did that. So it is a much smaller catwalk. And I'll share some pictures of that here in the near future as well. The headlights are badass, you guys, but they are expensive as F. They are I just saw a $2 super chat pop up. Thank you very much. That'll pay for tomorrow morning's Einstein coffee. Thank you for that super chat. I really do appreciate that. The headlights, they are ultra premium, you guys. In fact, we got that upgrade for free because we had paid the $300 for what was the old HID headlights, and this new style of the HID headlights that Peterbilt sells to prime drivers are now $700. So that's a big extra, but I'll tell you guys, I'm a convert. I haven't seen them in nighttime yet. I've seen them in the daytime, and they are legit. I mean, these things, I hit a deer a few months ago, or a deer hit me, as I like to say, while Jenna was asleep in the sleeper. And she was aware that something happened because that was also my only critical event ever for Prime. But those headlights are legit. And if you're, I wasn't a convert on that in the past. I am now. If you get a Freightliner or a Peterbilt, get the LED or HID or whatever they call them headlights. And I know they're expensive, but man, if you're buying a truck, make that investment because it may annoy some other trucks out there when you're coming the other direction, but I don't care. I drive at night exclusively. I need to be able to see. And that deer came out of nowhere, and I ain't down with that. So the headlights, 2 thumbs up, love it. Speaking of deer, you guys have probably noticed there's not a deer guard on that truck, and that's because Peterbilt failed to communicate to Prime or the company that makes these deer guards or anyone else in the industry that the little steel parts that come out, I forget what you call them, from the chassis behind the bumper are 2 inches further apart or 2 inches closer than they have been on every other truck. So there is currently not a deer guard on the market that fits the new body style Peterbilt. So Prime is actually having to fabricate deer guards for the Peterbilts, the 2022 new body styles, which sucks. And the guy at the tractor shop was really nice about it the other day. He was like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. We'll put you on the list, and hopefully you can come back and get one put on in a month." And I'm like, "Dude, I just hit a deer like a month ago. I have to pay for insurance on this truck now. It's a big deal." And I feel like it actually puts me at an unfair advantage in the Prime world, but whatever, life's not fair. But that's why there's not a deer guard on there. There will be soon. I didn't choose to not have one. I know some people don't like them. I want one on there. I want one on there because I don't like deer, first of all, but second of all, I feel like it gives me an added level of protection when we're parked and others are backing up near us. I'd much rather have that thing bend before anything else is hit by a bumper, but that's why it's not on there. What else? Mirrors. The mirrors are a little bit smaller, and that's without the Epic package, which the Epic package is all the plastic stuff all over the place, in your fenders, around your tires, all that stuff. The Epic package comes with much, much smaller mirrors. Even these mirrors, the standard mirrors, are smaller than on the last truck. So that took me a second. They're not like substantially smaller, but they're smaller. I do like that it gives you a bigger field of view, out, kind of like your panoramic view. But it does take some adjustment because they are a little bit smaller. But if you get the Epic package, which is like $2,000 or $3,000 or something like that, those mirrors are really small. I would not want those mirrors because the ones that are on there already are pretty damn small. Let's see, the fuel tank, same thing. I want to make sure I don't miss anything here. The fifth wheel, super excited that it has the fifth wheel that most of you Freightliner drivers have. The fifth wheel that Jen and I had on the last Peterbilt, we hated with a passion. It was the one with the short, what do you call it, handle? There's actually a word for it in the pre-trip. But the, I can't, it's leaving me right now, whatever. It was the short one, and we fought with that thing probably every other load. Every other trailer, that thing, you would have to ram the truck up against the trailer, drop the airbags, pull away from it. Sometimes it took us 10 minutes, both of us working as a team, to get that damn thing to let go. And it didn't matter if you put WD-40 all over it. We took it to the shop. It was a pain in the ass. So I think they're putting the ones with a long handle that most of the Freightliners have on these new Petes, and I'm super excited about that because I had no complaints over those. They did hang up every once in a while, but you could easily just make one quick adjustment and get it to unlock. So that was one thing. Down below, after this video for the replay gang, if you missed the interior tour, before we got all of our stuff in there, go watch that because I talked about the code, the way you put the code in on these trucks. It's driving me crazy. Now, I love the entire digital dash. It's beautiful. It has a lot more options. There's a lot of things that you can customize and set up the way that you like it. But because the entire thing is digital, it's all a computer, it pretty much has to boot up every time you turn the key to the on position, which means you can't enter the code until that computer is booted up and cycled. So you Peterbilt drivers know the 579s before this model that had the little turn knob, that already took longer to get the code in than the Freightliner with the 4 buttons. This takes even longer. It freezes up. It kind of has some lag, so you got to just wait on the whole thing to boot up. Also, it doesn't have a cycle where if you turn the truck off, like maybe 15, 20, 30 seconds later, you can go back and start the truck again without entering the code. It does not have that. You have to enter the code every single time you start the truck, period. Even if you turned it off for like 5 or 10 seconds, you still have to enter the code to start the truck again. That's driving me absolutely crazy. So I have a love-hate relationship with the digital dash because I love all the options. I love the way it looks. I love the way you can customize it. I hate the system to enter the code for the damn truck. If you're at a Tyson plant or somewhere where your truck's on and off and you're in and out, man, and there's trucks lined up behind you and they're all waiting for you to get out of the way and you got to get out of that guard shack, it's a pain in the butt. So I hope that there's a software update that can somehow boot into that screen or something and let you get that code in before I don't know. That's, I guess, a good thing about the digital dash is that software updates can kind of fix some of these things. So Peterbilt, if you ever see this video, please, please, please do something to fix that because that's terrible. Outside of that, you guys, The truck, believe it or not, runs even smoother than our last Peterbilt. Now, I haven't driven it under a load, but I do remember it, but I have driven it at highway speed, 65. Took it down 65 and across 60 yesterday, and it is even smoother than our truck before. So like, I was actually dumbfounded at how beautifully it drove. So if you're one of those who's looking at Peterbilt for the Peterbilt ride, the famous Peterbilt ride that we all love, this 2022, I think, has really mastered that, because I thought the last truck, up until about 120,000 miles, was a beautiful rider. The only reason it got rough for us is because it needed new shocks. You really should consider putting new shocks in about every 110,000 miles. We didn't do that because we were obviously turning the truck in. So the last 15 or 20,000 miles that we drove that truck it was not the Peterbilt ride we had come to enjoy. So we'll be very disciplined with this truck and make sure that when we hit about 110,000 miles, we're going to get even better shocks, and then we'll replace those about every 110,000 miles. But I can tell you right now that even bobtail, I remember how smooth the 21 Peterbilt was when I bobtailed off the yard, and this one's even smoother. So I'm really excited about the ride that we're going to get. I noticed no vibration in the steering column. Now, that could change under a load, but even bobtail, you would notice some vibration between 11th and 12th gears, or at the top of the 11th gear and the bottom of the 12th gear. And I didn't notice any of that. Another thing is, there's less, it seems to be a little bit smarter about where it should be with the gears, that was a big deal. Heathens, thank you for the super chat. I saw someone else super chatted. Jenna, don't let me forget who that was, because I'm on a different screen on my computer. I can swipe desktops on my Mac, so I'm not seeing the chat right now. I'll get to it here shortly. But Heathens and I talk about this all the time. So Heathens, I believe, now I can't promise, because I'll know when I get out there and get some miles on this truck this weekend, but it very much feels like they've retooled or made some tweaks to the gear ratio, so that it's dropping down to 11th gear when it should be. It's dropping down to 11th gear like 57, 58 miles per hour, and that's bobtail. So even without the weight, it knows now that it needs to drop down to 11th gear sooner, which was a big problem in my view of the 21s. And I think that's because Prime, said we want this type of fuel economy, and Peterbilt is trying to figure out how to meet that. So their gear ratio was off. It seems to me that they've kind of figured that out. So I'm really excited about that. But overall, you guys, it is a beautiful truck. I Jenna hasn't driven it yet. She'll get to drive it this weekend, but I cannot be more pleased with the outcome. I'm super excited that that's the first truck that we own. And I'm looking forward to, putting 3 or 4 years in that truck, and I think it's going to be an amazing ride. So anyway, I think those are the points that I wanted to hit with you guys before I open it up to questions. Jenna, if you could remind me who super chats we had. Heathens, thanks again, Heathens. I gotta go way back. I'm not gonna go back and look at questions. So if you have questions, you can re-ask them now. Troy, thank you for the super chat, $5. And then Soggy Gore, it was $2. Soggy Gore, man, I feel so bad for Soggy Gore. I don't know if Soggy Gore wants me to tell his story. Soggy Gore, tell me if it's okay if I tell your story. Soggy Gore, Troy, and Higgins. Yes, thank you guys for the super chats. Appreciate that. We'll definitely get some elitist coffee this weekend thanks to those super chats. So anyway, I think I hit all my points with the truck. I'm sure that you guys have questions. We'll have more videos talking about it, especially when we get out on the road. No hippie trucking transportation. My PACCAR engine hasn't had a problem. Yeah, I knew there was going to be some flack when I put PACCAR in that reveal video. Jen and I's PACCAR engine ran great. We had no problems with it whatsoever. None of our problems with our Peterbilt were related to the engine. So, now would I rather have a Cummins? Yes, I would rather have a Cummins, but primarily because you can get a Cummins worked on like anywhere. And that's why I've said before, if Prime cuts a deal with Kenworth, even though it's kind of the same company, they've stated that the Kenworths are going to come with a Cummins engine. So I would be interested in buying a Kenworth for that reason. But you PACCAR haters, I don't know. There's problems with all trucks, you guys. What's up, Kiersey? What's going on? Kiersey, are you in Springfield yet? Rich's River, Smokers. Will you marry me? Soggy Wars says it's all good. Okay, so I got to tell Soggy Wars' story real quick. And this is for the Peterbilt haters. And this backs up that trucks are trucks. So when Jen and I went to look at our new truck at Prime, it had left Peterbilt, it had gone to Stripes and stuff, and it went to Prime. Soggy Gore was parked right next to our truck in his brand spanking new Freightliner. And it's a beautiful truck. It's a beautiful truck. So we went and looked around it with him, and he was super excited because he's doing a lease, and he was excited to get a brand new truck. He's flatbed. And he posted just the other day, I think it was right after he finished his first load or right before he finished his first load. He can correct me in the comments. His truck has been towed and is in the shop for maybe up to 2 weeks, and he's stuck in a hotel. One load. That brand new Freightliner completed one load and may not even have completed it. He can correct me. The point being is, trucks are trucks. So don't think that because you're getting a brand new Freightliner and not a Peterbilt, you're going to avoid going to the shop. All trucks are going to have the same potential to have problems. Peterbilts have fewer problems, but they're more difficult to get addressed. In my experience, Freightliner had a few more problems, but they got addressed quicker. Let's see. Junior Honduras, what's up, man? GOAT. Greatest of all time. Thank you for congratulations and good night. No hippie trucking transportation. The only problem is hearing people repeat what they've heard. Yeah. Dickie Dickerson, they're bringing truck orders back in late September, I think, or early October for Peterbilts. Peterbilt just asked Prime to hold off for a short period of time because they're trying to get caught up. They're so backlogged. They had at one point like 7,500 trucks waiting down in Texas or across multiple plants that they couldn't get the chips for. So you will be able to order a Peterbilt again soon through Prime, not through Peterbilt. You can't order a 2022 Peterbilt anywhere else that I know of for the remainder of the year, unless a company already has contracts for those trucks like Prime does. Because Peterbilt has announced nationally that they're no longer taking orders the rest of this year for 2022s. But Prime is, I was in Success Leasing last week and I asked that and they said they'd be coming back soon. Lindred Trucking, only Pete and Volvo dealers can work. PACCAR, every dealer and mom and pops can work on Cummins. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. For those listening to the replay or watching, I'm going to try and read the comments because I know we have a lot of subscribers who listen to our videos. That's what I do. I listen to videos while I'm driving. It's hard for me to listen to lives when the whoever's live doesn't read the comments because I don't know what they're responding to. Pneumatic Brick Yoda in the background is like Cummins, no way, get a Detroit. The force is strong with Eric. My trucking venture. Hey, my trucking venture. I appreciate the comments, man. I know you only have 2 videos, but I'm a subscriber and I'm enjoying your channel. Uh, and welcome to Springfield, by the way. Welcome to Prime. I know you're not here yet, but I hope it's a good experience for you. Lindard Trucking. I'm not a Volvo or a Pete hater. I'm a hater when a company controls where you can get problems fixed. Yeah, I agree with that. And that's why Freightliners, your problems get resolved sooner because you can get warranty work done at, Bosch shops, TA Petro. You can get warranty work done at Prime. You can get warranty work done at the dealerships. With Peterbilt, you can only get warranty work done at Peterbilt. Saw your got my first load in, then it derated me to 5. Okay, so you did get your first load in. Ben, that's why I like getting slightly used trucks. You can see if they have problems. Well, but Ben, riding with Kev, used that philosophy, and he left Prime in a used Freightliner and was towed 3 days later, maybe 2 days later. Had that Freightliner towed and put him in a hotel for a while and put him in a hole. Trucks are trucks, you guys. Time to take my ass to bed. Night. No hippie trucking transportation. Thanks for stopping by. Am I behind already? For the love of God. Heathens, guess your order will be in October. Yeah, Heathens, if you want a Peterbilt, just hang on, man. They're gonna open orders back up. Peyton, you get loads out of West Texas, and what's your favorite interstate? My favorite interstate is 81. We don't get a whole lot of loads out of West Texas. Usually we'll deadhead. We just don't get it. We don't. Jen and I'm not saying Prime. I'm saying Jen and I don't get a lot of loads out of West Texas. But my favorite interstate is 81, and the reason 81 is my favorite is because it's diverse, not too extreme. It's not boring. It's beautiful. Generally good, smooth roads, and good truck stops. I love the truck stops on 81. Got some great finds there, and you can take 81 all the way from Tennessee to, you can take 81 all the way to New York, right? I'm not sure where it goes beyond that, but I love running 81. That's my favorite. It's my favorite interstate. My least favorite would be 70. And then second, third, and fourth to that on least favorite would be any interstate that starts with a 7. Big Dog, that's not what I was told as far as can't order until February. Maybe outside of Prime, but I was told by Prime that they're going to take orders again soon. Dickie, good. I should be done with TNT by then, and I already have the down payment. Nice, good. Be sure and hit the like. Yeah, if you guys hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. That does help. I've noticed these live replays are getting over 1,000 replays, which is crazy because these are all an hour long, you guys. Troy, where's the baby seat go? The baby seat's not going in the truck. JDQ is listening. JDQ Transportation. You guys check him out on YouTube. Since I know you're listening, man, thank you for the listen and be safe out there, bro. Really appreciate it. Sorry I couldn't see you at Prime the other day, but I understand you had to get sleep. Believe me, I know. You drive at night and you sleep at day. I feel that, man. I'm not upset I didn't get to see you, but because I understand why. Fight the power. I thought you were going to bed, Lyle. Skeletor Night. Can you order a Cummins on an international? Well, I don't know why you would order an international. You can't even order an international, I don't think, with Prime. I think you can only order a Freightliner and a Peterbilt. But I don't know about Cummins and International. I don't know anything about International. I've never driven one. Looking forward to meeting you guys sometimes down the road. Am I that far behind? Thanks, My Trucking Venture. Can't order International yet. I gotta catch up. Dickie, you can take 81 to Canada. I didn't know that. 81 goes to Canada. Rich confirms. Yeah. 20 and 10 nomadic Brit. Ooh. Okay, there's parts of 20 and 10 I really enjoy. There's parts of 20 and 10 that I do not enjoy at all. Already have my, but yeah, there's good stretches of Interstate 20 and 10. Yeah, I didn't realize Skeletor says 81 goes to Canada too. I didn't know that. I haven't been that far up, of course. Syracuse, New York is as far up as I've been, I think. Actually, now that I think about it, doesn't 81 go up to, does 81 go up to where you cut across right under the border to, where's that Ben and Jerry's over there in Vermont? So maybe I have taken 81 damn near up to Canada, now that I think about it. Wytheville, yeah. Great truck stop there. My TNT trainer and I are leaving Saturday, so ready to get the show on the road. Nice. Nomadic Brit. Good luck, sir. Can you be my trainer? I turn 21 next year. I look up to as a driver. I turn 20 at the end of this month. Peyton, I don't know. Okay, so let me give you guys a little bit of a... Jen and I will be talking about this too. She is going to drive for a little while. Probably not as long as she technically, medically can. Because as a future father of our baby, I'm having a hard time grappling with her driving a truck for more than a couple months at most from now. I don't like it. I don't like her having to get in and out of the truck, in and out of the trailer. So, I'll probably be training as soon as that change has to happen in our life. I'm caught up now. Thank you, Troy. But we don't know what day that is. JDQ says he appreciates the love very much. Nice. Heathens, good night, Uncle. Heathens need sleep. Go to sleep, Heathens. Thanks again for the super chats. It's possible to message him on Discord or DL app. Yeah, so Jen, it's possible. I tell you, I don't know. If I train through the holidays, it's going to have to be a good match with a student, because with my wife being pregnant, I'm being home for the holidays this year. So, it's going to have to be a student who wants the same thing. Or you can sleep in my truck at Prime. Live in Syracuse also. Yeah, I remember, Dickie, you were saying you were living in Syracuse. We have a lot of places we deliver in Syracuse. There's a really cool washout in Syracuse that is like bizarre. It's back behind they don't even have any signage. They don't announce that they're there, but they have an account with Prime, and really nice people. Jenna knows the one I'm talking about. Does Prime offer Volvo? They are still testing some Volvos. It's really hard to get one, I'll be honest with you. Trip planning tips. That's a whole video, man. Peyton Interstate west of San Antonio is 85 miles per hour, and that's basically highway trucks only. I do like Interstate 10 from San Antonio basically all the way through New Mexico. That's a really nice. There's not a lot of traffic. Driving through El Paso sucks, but we always drive through there in the middle of the night, so we don't have to deal with any of it. Can you text me the name of your drone you use for your videos? I've had many drones in my previous professional career. We used a $7,000 drone when we did a movie production. Then I've had the GoPro Karma drone back when GoPro was trying to make drones. I had the Mavic Pro. So I've had a lot of drones, but this is by far my favorite drone. By far. This is the Mavic Mini. And it's freaking amazing. I want to show you guys this. So there's a reason I'm doing this so you guys can see. Look at this. That's the drone. You literally put this thing in your pocket. Mavic Mini, they're not very expensive either. But it's amazing. Super easy to fly. Jen and I flew it over a lake in, where was that, Jenna? Was that Wyoming? I think it was in Wyoming or Utah. We flew it over a lake and some mountains, and oh man, it was a high wind, but it was amazing. So for a drone that I think might be under like $600, this thing's incredible. And I use a DJI. Where's my other? I have a DJI. This is the Action. DJI Action. I think I can't remember what. There's another word in there. But this is amazing. This is only $200, and I'm telling you, it's just as high quality as GoPro. In fact, some of the things are better. I just like DJI products in general. I've had the Ronin gimbal. I have this gimbal, which is a DJI product. So I have all DJI products right now, and I love them. Highly recommend. Let's see. Is it Rotterdam? I'm not sure if it's Rotterdam. Yes, Jenna. Well, the one, not the blue beacon, but the one you were brushing, Remy. Yeah. Probably about the time and kind of probably I don't need a trainer. Ben, highly don't recommend getting a student through the holidays unless they live. Yeah, only if it's the right. But you guys asking me to train you in chat, you have to understand, I've got like 30 people asking me to train them that are not in this chat. I had a guy walk up to me at Prime the other day, and he was like, I don't care if you go home every 3 weeks. I don't care. Do whatever you want. Like, I'll run the holidays with you. You can go home. I don't care. I just want you to be my trainer. I don't want to get on a stinky guy's truck. He's like, I don't care if it takes 4 months. Go fix a plane. Okay. Mavic Mini is really popular. Yeah, Brett, I love it. I've had way more expensive drones, and this is the cheapest drone I've ever had, and it's the one I love the most. Big Dog Trucker, El Paso and Phoenix are the worst to drive through unless you do it at night. Yes, they are. Rich JDQ says I-10 sucks in LA. Louisiana, yes, it definitely does. And Texas. Flight time on this is 25 minutes per battery. And I have 3 batteries. Show and tell with all them toys. Barry's 65 people in there, only 26 likes. I know. It's hard to find parking at IO80 truck. Is it hard to find at IO80 truck stop? No, it is not. I've always been able to find parking, even if the lot is full. And that's if, because there's almost always parking way out there by the sign and the interstate. You can still take the back exit, like way that goes way around, and there's street parking all the way around. Over by the cornfields, like if you curve around. But we've always been able to find parking at Iowa 80 truck stop, always, no matter what time of day it is. Shouldn't be. It's supposed to be the world's biggest truck stop. Yeah. Here's so many bad things about the Peterbilt. Why not just stick with Freightliner? Because I've had a Freightliner. I already explained all. I'm not going to explain that again. I love Peterbilt. I love my truck. I love Peterbilt. Yes, I have some complaints about it. I have complaints about Freightliner. I had a Freightliner. Yeah, we did. The Thumbs Down Club, which is about 10 members strong, even thumbs down the fact that we're having a baby. It's really amazing. Canada Highway 1 is worse than I-70. Yeah, that's what I've heard. We've not driven a truck in Canada. I have been to Canada. I haven't driven a truck in Canada, and we've heard that the roads are way worse. Driving a 2020 Freightliner seems very well. They're sturdy, but if you think a Freightliner is sturdy and smooth, man, you need to go for a ride in a Peterbilt. Michael, training you wouldn't really be any training. Yeah, and there's someone in Springfield right now that would have been a great student, but we're just not ready for, like, Jenna still has some driving in her. Not a lot, but she's still got some miles that she can lay down. Willie, what's up, man? Million Mile Man, welcome to the shit show here. Jenna, it's amazing. A bunch of grouchy pants truckers. Yeah, John Sinclair. Jessa, 579 Peterbilt 2022, normal steering wheel without buttons. Button? I don't know what you mean by that. You have to clarify. Big Dog Trucker. Anyone ever delivered to the Dollar General DC in Alabama? No, but I've delivered to a Dollar General in Missouri, and it was freaking miserable. My Trucking Venture. Do we use Instagram? We have an Instagram profile. We put some stuff up there, but I don't like anything that has anything to do with Facebook. I don't even have a Facebook account. And because Facebook owns Instagram, I'm not giving it a lot of my time. Not that I really like Google either, but YouTube is YouTube. And I love YouTube. It's got such great tools, and I'm learning more. I'm learning how to work with all these tools, and really digging it. So most of our focus is really on YouTube, and then we have our own social network that we built that's custom at driverlineup.com. John Halgren, question. If you're training, you're going to trust your life to a trainee at times and not be watching them to sleep, right? Seems kind of hazardous to a guy with pregnancy going on. John, getting in a truck is hazardous, man. Getting in a truck is hazardous. Like, you're trusting people driving a truck 70 miles an hour coming the other direction. Like, there's risk all over the place in driving a truck. When I went through the trainer class at Prime, they said something that was really profound to me, and that is that if you're going to let it get in your head that the person you're training to drive a truck is scary and that you don't want to let them drive while you're sleeping, then you don't have no business being a trainer. And that's true. Do you have dash cams in a truck or a company camera looking in out of the cab? The Prime has dash cams facing out, not in. Barry Savage. Yeah, there's some savage thumbs downers. Does any trucker like driving through I-70 in Colorado? None that I know. Got JDQ considering Peterbilt for ace purchase. Yes, we need JDQ in a Pete gang. JDQ, I know you're listening. I know you're driving. Pete gang, Pete gang. Are we going to add more lights on our trucks to the sides? No, we do not do I don't like chicken lights. Nope. I'm a steering wheel holder. I don't do all that shit. Troy shit show, remember? Michael Douglas. Okay, happy campers. I'm out of here. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Oh my gosh, there's 80 of you guys. Okay. How long have I been on here? 46 minutes. All right, I go a little bit longer. Wolfman. Wolfman. I'm not going to get into the 80s movies talk tonight, but Wolfman, every time you show up, that's all I can think about. But yeah, who thumbs downs babies? How late was my truck? Tim Olson asked. My truck was 7 weeks late. Seven weeks. My Freightliner that comes here in about a month, it sounds like it's going to be a week or two late. Brad, who's going to drive that truck, has his money on October 1st. That truck is supposed to be here on September 16th. So hopefully our Freightliner is not anywhere near as late as our Peterbilt was. If our Freightliner was only 2 weeks late, I'd be happy. So hopefully it's here by October 1st. I hope Brad's right. Let's see, big dog trucker. I saw a guy in Kentucky today with a 2022 579. He had so many lights on it, he could light up the night sky. Yeah. And how many like extra bulbs do you guys have to haul with all those lights? Michael Douglas, if somebody thinks a Freightliner is smooth ride, they've got a cast iron keister. Yeah. Yeah, they do. I had someone the other day tell me they paid the $1,300 for the steer axle airbags on a new Freightliner. And he's like, the only thing it did was make the front bounce more. It took it's not like, it doesn't feel like you're hitting a brick wall when you hit a pothole, but it just makes the front of the truck bounce more. So he was a little pissed about that. 10 count. I don't like the gap between the cab and the frame of the Pete. Needs chicken lights or black arrow strip. Yeah, I don't like that either, 10 count. I totally agree with you. That gap is way too wide, and it's not as wide on the new body style as it was in a 21, but it's still there. You can still see all the way under it and across. I totally agree with that. It was worse in our 21. There was way too much of gap underneath there. The black arrow strips, yeah, I don't know. I just hate all that. I don't like all that black stuff, all that arrow strip stuff, because it always comes loose and undone and breaks and rips up. On our Freightliner, we had it down at the bottom and we had missing pieces. But I totally agree. The gap on the Pete's, they should do something, like just put something underneath the cab I don't know. They should do something. My trucking venture got you. Yeah, I've been looking into videos about the algorithms and creating content in general on YouTube, but like Instagram for daily photos. So my trucking adventure, now you're getting started on YouTube. I've been very transparent about this. We've made over $10,000 this year on referrals, and we make about $500 to $600 a month on ads. So it's a $16,000 minimum a year business on YouTube. Now, we don't do it just for the money, but man, I'm digging it. We did it when it didn't make us any money, and we loved it just as much. but I'm digging it. I'm going to be transparent about that. I know some YouTubers out there get mad at me about talking about it. They say, oh, it shouldn't be about money. Man, I'm sorry. I think it's stupid if you're in trucking, to make money. If you have a business, you're in business to make money. YouTube is an excellent business. So I don't know about making any money on Instagram. Not like that. See where we John Kirkpatrick, congrats on your truck. It's sweet. Thank you. Appreciate that. 579 Peterbilt 22 steering wheel change after put custom steering. Oh, I haven't. Good question. If you're asking if my hands still hit the buttons, we haven't put our steering wheel cover on it yet because I need to find one that's the right color. I had a black one that had, I still have it. It's downstairs, that had kind of a red showing through it a little bit because our last truck was gunmetal gray and red. I want to try to find that same one that has orange behind it, or kind of like, because we're kind of copper orange color. And then our iPhone chargers and everything in a dash are like a copper color going across both sides of the dash. So we're trying to get that accent color. So I haven't put a steering wheel cover. I hope that it raises my hands just enough to keep me from hitting those buttons, because it is annoying as hell. My trucking venture, yes, we are still waiting on another truck. Yes, our Freightliner. Hopefully it'll be here in a month. Stephen Welsh, congrats on the baby. Thank you. Rich, the only turn off is a small fridge, but he says he can get over it. Yeah. That bed's bigger downstairs, JDQ. We make the fridge work. Peyton Thorne, you're a funny guy. I respect that, man. Chicken lights, that's new to me. Yeah, I'm not trying, don't get me wrong, Peyton. It's a preference thing. You know, it's like some drivers like chrome. We don't like chrome. We want as little chrome as possible. But I'm not saying that you shouldn't, I'm not saying it's my opinion you shouldn't like chrome. There's some trucks with chrome that look beautiful. I just don't like chicken lights. I don't like all those lights. But I totally understand why you might want them. So hopefully you didn't take that the wrong way. John, was it hard to train your dog for the road? No, it was not, because we lived in an RV, 36-foot Class A, before we drove a truck. It was the size of a sweet potato. So yeah, we got Remy when she was the size of a sweet potato. And we lived in a 36-foot Class A RV, and we traveled the country. We had solar. We still have that RV. It's 1,300 watts, Jenna, I think, of solar with 400 amp hours of lithium. So Remy's lived on the road her entire life. So no, it was not hard to train her for the road. Troy, put chicken lights on mine for safety because it's hard to see a black truck at night. Big Dog, I have air ride on my steers on my 389 and it drives like a dream. Well, but that's a 389, Big Dog. So that's a little different than a Freightliner. I think trying to put airbags on the steers on a Freightliner is like trying to put lipstick on a pig. But that's my opinion. A lot of people drive trucks with all Christmas lights, usually older guys with all those lights might blind someone. There are some bright trucks out there. How are we going to react when Johnson's Logic blows by you doing 80 in the ungoverned Volvo? Man, I would not do 80 in my truck even if I could. Maybe it's because I'm so used to a governed truck, but when I hit 73 or 74 going down a mountain, it feels like I'm like I just hit warp drive. So even if I could do 80, I would not cruise at 80. That 65 is good for me. I'm just a steering wheel holder, guys. Turn your lights on. There's a switch on the dash. I'm not sure what that is. Let's see. That my trucking adventure, that's the baby salary. Pretty much. Now it is. Let's see. I thought Prime decided where to place weigh right scale. 10 count, maybe. I don't know. I wasn't saying that's Peterbilt's fault. I'm just saying that I hate that that's where they placed it. Whoever placed it there. I don't know if Prime put it there or Peterbilt put it there. Either way, it was the stupidest place they could possibly put it. It's clearly someone who's never driven a truck put it there. Let's see. The lights are a lot of upkeep. I have a total of 460 on my truck and trailer. It's way too many.
Speaking of baby, did you tell them that I had to meet with the baby financing office and how they finance the purchase of a baby?
Jenna just reminded me that we found it very interesting that you finance humans now. So she was at the hospital and we have insurance, but our portion of it, basically the only option is monthly payments. It's like $150 or something like that a month for 7 or 8 months. So it was just really funny to us that both of us were like, wait, they finance humans. They finance humans down the road, just down the road from us. Here's something interesting for you guys. Our baby will be born in the same hospital that I was born in. Isn't that a trip? The Adventures of Quist. Heard you say something about YouTube. I'm actually working on thumbnails for the next 3 vids. They're already made and recorded. Nice. Big Dog says, Peyton Thorne, remember, if it wasn't for us old guys, you wouldn't have an industry to work in now. Yeah, much respect for Big Dog. Okay, dude, much respect for those that came before us. When I talk about super truckers and when I may display some disrespect for some of the old school guys, that's targeting the people who are completely disrespectful to me. And that's not everybody. That's not everybody. Jen and I have met some of the coolest drivers ever that have been driving for 40 years. We met a dude up in Wyoming that was he parked his lowboy right next to us. And he came over and he climbed up on the steps and like got in our window and talked to us for like 45 minutes. Coolest dude, man. Really cool guy. And he was just looking at our dash and he's like, oh my God, how these trucks have changed. Really cool dude. We had so much respect for that guy. Just tons of wisdom. You know, when I talk on YouTube about super truckers, I mean that in somewhat of a disparaging way towards the people who have zero respect for all of us. And they lump all of us into the same box. There are some stupid, shitty drivers that are new drivers. But not all of us. A lot of us are professionals.
The most fun part about the guy in Wyoming was that we had the impromptu parking lot picnic with him swapping snacks while he...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that super trucker and a lowboy, we even were like swapping snacks and drinks with him, and not alcohol, of course, but just a cool dude, man. And we've met a lot of people like that on the road. But it's the people who, you know, lump all of us steering wheel holders in together and think we all throw piss bottles out there and we all can't back up and we're all disrespectful on the road and we don't use CBs. That shit pisses me off, man. That's awesome that your baby would be born in the same hospital. Yeah, isn't it? Because I only lived in Springfield like the first year I was born. So I have no recollection of Springfield whatsoever. Never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be back in Springfield and having a baby in Springfield and at the same hospital that I was born at. Life's a trip, man. Big Dog, I've been out here for 32 years and I treat rookie with the same respect as I do a veteran. Yeah, I appreciate that. And there's a lot of you who do. And now, but there's a lot of rookies out here that don't deserve any respect. I will admit that. I just don't like being lumped in with them just because I drive a brand new automatic truck. That doesn't mean shit. And I've only been driving a truck for 3 years, but every driver who's been driving for decades had a point in their lives where they only drove a truck for 3 years. Connecticut DOT says chicken lights are okay, but every one of them better work or it's $50. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Skeletor. Yeah, those are marker lights. So when you see those trailers out there now, they look cool as shit. With 100 lights on them. Talk about pre-tripping the shit out of your trailer, man. That's a lot of lights. Peyton, I wasn't being disrespectful. You good, man? I'm still learning. I love, respect y'all. Both driver line up. Peyton, no one's thinking that you're being disrespectful at all. At all, bro. I think it's just, everybody's just throwing out. This channel is a good place for everybody to just talk things out, man. I don't think anyone's being disrespectful here. I think it's just everybody's just kind of throwing their thoughts out there, and that's great. 10 count, do you know what a lot lizard with a mattress strapped to her back is? A lot lizard with a mattress strapped to her back is an owner op. Oh boy. Speed by boost. Yes, we have the digital dash. Brandon Bearden, I was born in the same hospital as my mom by the same doctor. Wow, that's even trippier. That's even trippier. Gold Phoenix, older truckers just have a huge ego as they've never made mistakes. Well, according to them, they've never made mistakes. Susan Withers, I freaking love chicken lights. They're so beautiful. Some of those trailers do look absolutely beautiful. Now, I will say on the super trucks, you guys know we don't like chrome, but when I see the super extended chassis and it's all painted it's painted a nice color with the, the covers over the wheels and everything. Those trucks are sexy. Holy shit, those trucks are sexy. So it's not that I don't like older trucks. Long nose, I think they're all sexy as hell. Big Dog, well, I look at it this way. Everyone was a rookie at one time, so if I see someone having problems backing, I get out to help instead of laughing at them. Yeah, that's good. And there's a lot of old schoolers who do, for sure. Even on the CB. On the CB, so Jen and I, we use our CB, and, I get into a lot of chats in the middle of the night. In the middle of the night, it's a lot better because the old schoolers that are on the CB in the middle of the night are cool as hell. And they don't give a shit if you're driving a brand new truck or, a freaking cab over. They're just cool as hell, and we're all out there in the dark, munching miles, and we have some really good chats. It's the ones in the daytime, man, that just angry at life. But yeah, there's a lot of cool old schoolers. Just a general statement, yeah. Jenna Vargas, Jenna says there are jerks that are rookies and vets alike, but most drivers in general are cool, yeah. Peyton, is it just me or what causes it seems like the cattle trucks always going 75 to 80? Well, I think part of that is, aren't they exempted? Aren't the bull racks, they're exempted, right, from certain hours of service and things? And usually, now I don't know, I'm not saying this everywhere, but from what I've heard, certain counties and areas where they run, the cops don't mess with them because they're trying to get beef, they're trying to get cattle where cattle need to go. So, but I think they might be exempted because they're hauling livestock. I'm not entirely sure on that, but I think they can run a lot of hours and generally don't get messed with. Now, I have seen them pulled over. I've seen a bull rack pulled over for speeding. 10 count Pete comes with a CB. No, it does not come with a CB, but it comes pre-wired. Plug and play. Cab overs. Yeah, I've seen some sexy cab overs, Rich. Really cool cab overs. I would not want to drive one, but I freaking love them. Every time I see one, I point it out to Jenna, and she's like, I don't give a shit. But they're cool as hell to me. And the guys driving them seem really cool too. I mean, you got to be hardcore to drive one of those things, man. That's because the cattle can't be on a truck for long or they will die. Yeah, big dog. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure their Truckers World says yes, bull haulers are exempted. That's what I thought. Rich, make sure you check your mailbox tomorrow. Will do. The Adventures of Quist. Bull haulers are exempt in Texas if cattle die due to DOT. DOT's liable. Okay, so yeah, so they're exempt from hours of service, and like there's parts of Kansas where I've heard the discussion on CB where the cops will not, they just let them go. They just let them go. So the speed limit may be doing maybe 65 and you'll see them doing 80, and that's because it's just kind of accepted that that's going to happen. But again, in certain parts of the country, I have seen a bull rack pulled over for speeding. Very rare though. 10 count, why didn't you keep your old Pete and deploy it in your fleet? Well, I did a video about that. You cannot buy a second truck if your truck is a standard lease. So that's why. And we weren't going to wait 2 years to start our fleet. Blake Sims, and looking to get a new 2022 579 as well. Beautiful truck. Thank you. Really appreciate that. Peyton, you like extended cab trucks and would ever invest one? I do. Jen and I had talked about that before, but Jen and I now have a small human that's being created that we're responsible for. So much for that. But I'd rather have a tiny human than an extended cab truck. Barry travels hard on animals. Yeah, ours like to travel. She likes to travel. Big dog. There are bull haulers out of Amarillo that run way into triple digits. I bet. Especially down there in Panhandle, for sure. But you get out there on the 2-lane roads in Kansas, like outside of Liberal, Kansas, or Dodge City, and man, those things are they'll move a loaded trailer will shake. Now, I'm talking 40,000 pounds of beef. A loaded trailer will shake when one of those bull haulers passes you on a 2-lane highway. John St. Clair, I ride with my dad when I was 10 in a 66 white Freightliner cab over. The coolest ride I ever had. Nice. I bet that was fun. Rich, if you can catch a bull hauler, they'll give the guys off the back of their trailer. I'll give you the nuts off the back of their trailer. That's funny. Gold Phoenix, the worst accident I've ever seen was a bull hauler rollover. Terrible sight. Yeah, they do happen, but I think most of those bull haulers, in my opinion, the vast majority of them have been driving very long. They're very good at what they do, and generally it's going to be a not preventable. But no one is perfect, and they're going to make mistakes. I think everyone generally expects that bull haulers are ballers and just leave them to do what they're going to do. That's the way I view it. I don't mess with them, and I have no problem with the way they run, and they can do whatever they like. It just is what it is. Big dog trucker, I have a 605 Cummins in my truck turned up, and those bull haulers pass me and pull away out west. Yeah, those bull haulers is something else.
Bull haulers invented the slogan "Dicks out for Harambe."
Jenna said bull haulers invented the slogan "Dicks out for Harambe." If you guys didn't hear that. All right, we're at an hour and 10 minutes, so I'm gonna wrap it up. But I appreciate you guys letting me make my points in the beginning about Peterbilt. I know my reveal video was very short. It was pithy, some might say. But that's because I'm going to be doing follow-up videos on various features and things of the truck. I just wanted to show it real quick in that reveal. We kept getting people saying, hey, we want to see your truck. Want to see your truck. Big Duck. Yes, we named our truck. Our truck is named Iron Maiden. Mohammed, is Prime a good company to start when getting a CDL, and how long should one do trucking until going owner op route? Prime's a great company to get a CDL with. And as far as leaving Prime and maybe getting your own authority or something, I think you'll know when the time is right. But go to Prime and learn everything you can. Truckers World, it was awesome. Thank you. All right, guys. Yeah, I'm going to wrap this one up. Hour and 10. I got to go to a safety meeting in the morning. It's 10 p.m., but I really appreciate you guys. We're coming up on 1 year on YouTube, September 18th, I think, maybe. Will be 1 year on YouTube, and we're almost at 4,000 subscribers, which is crazy. And it's been such a wild ride, you know, and I went back and watched my first video last night, which in my first video, I told myself to do. So I went back and watched it last night, and it's just so neat remembering in that first video almost a year ago saying, you know, we might want to get a second truck. We might want to build a fleet. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. So kind of visualizing some of the things we wanted to accomplish a year ago and be here a year later with our second truck coming a few weeks from now is just really, really cool. So thank you guys so much for, you know, being a part of this with us and letting us be a part of your journey. Very much appreciated. Of course, be safe, make good decisions, and as always, drive to thrive. You guys, we will talk to you soon.